I have to like come back every time, like every time we stand. So, okay, I think I figured out that with 2 books and my computer propped up, that works. I like still haven't mastered this. I don't know why. But I think I don't have to move this whole class now. I think you can see me in all the
That's good. Yeah, I can see it there.
All right, we did it. We've already conquered so much. All right, let's start at the top of our mat. Toes touching, heels a little bit apart in mountain pose. Take a second and close your eyes. And just notice the sensations in your body. Where's the weight on your feet? Is it on the front? Is it on the back? Can you try rocking and see how that sensation feels different? Add, balance that weight across all of your foot. And take a moment to really engage with your breath. All day we breathe really shallowly, but for the next 30 minutes, we want to really breathe deep with a full belly breath that expands our diaphragm and expands our whole lungs. So breathe in and breathe out. One more. And for the next 30 minutes, focus on what's happening right with you and yourself, nothing else that's happening around you. There's so much going on in life right now. I feel it. I'm stressed. We're all stressed probably most days. But try and keep your thoughts on where your body is and how that sensation feels. And push any other thoughts that happen to the side. You might still feel them. You're going to hear them in your head. But just kind of acknowledge them and then just remind yourself to center back into what's happening in your body and in your. So take a nice inhale. Take the arms, take the arms up to the ceiling. Bring them down through your forehead and to your heart center. If you want to set an intention or a motivation for the practice, take a second and do so. It could just be to move your body. It could be learn how to breathe a little bit more. You don't even have to do one, but if it feels good and it serves you, feel free to do so. Open up those eyes. Take the hands down. Bring them up one more time, nice and tall. And send them down and bend forward into a flat back. Hands on those thighs to support. And then gently let yourself drop all the way down into a standing forward fold. You can leave a little softness in your knees. Definitely don't lock them. And just let yourself dangle. And let your head hang. Take an inhale, halfway lift to a flat back. Exhale and come back down. Inhale, lift all the way up, either using your thighs to support you, or if you'd like to lift your arms out to the side, and bring those arms up. And take them down. Open up that chest. Let's send our arms up one more time. And we're going to send our elbows down and back to open up that chest. Send yourself forward again with a flat back. And now drop to the ground. And we're going to bend our legs and come to all fours. While you're here, check in with your body, that your shoulders and your wrists are in a nice alignment and that your hips are in alignment with your knees. Take a nice inhale. Arch that back. Breathe out and transition to a rounded back. Inhale to arch. Exhale to round. There can be a softness in your elbows. No need for those to be locked. And after your next round, come back to a neutral position. We're going to take a second and rotate the tops of our arms forward. So the crease in our elbow will now be facing forward. And that'll be a different sensation from where it normally is and what you're normally used to. Let it rest back to your normal. And one more time. Start to send yourself back. Take the arms out a bit further in front of you. And we're going to drop our elbows onto the mat, our forehead onto the mat. So it's not quite a child's pose. You're just going to be feeling some stretching through the shoulder region. And now bring yourself fully back into a child's pose. Gently bring the hands to your shoulders. Tuck the toes. And come to a standing forward bend. Rise on up. Take yourself down again, sending the elbows back and opening up that chest. Roll down one vertebrae at a time. And walk the hands out to come into a downward facing dog. Feet are about hip width apart, hands are about shoulder distance apart. Spread through your entire fingers so that you are putting the weight on all of your hands, not just those wrists. Press those heels into the ground, shoulders away from the ears, and chest pressing towards those knees so that you're making a nice upside down V. Take a deep inhale while you're here. And exhale. One more breath. And exhale. Gently walk those feet, pedal through them. Feel the articulation between all the different components of your foot, your toes, and start to feel some stretch in your calf as you push yourself toward, or push those feet towards the ground. Gently shift yourself front into a plank. Tummy's in. We're not downward dogging, so our butt's down. Take an exhale and gently lower yourself down to the floor. You can drop your knees if you need, or you can keep them up. Take your hands to your sides. And gently lift up just a little bit for a baby sphinx. It doesn't have to be far. Just wake up that body, extend through that back. Lower down. And your choice if you'd like to come up through a full flow, or if you want to keep your knees on the mat, so you can either come up this way, or if you want to tuck those toes and take yourself up to the full plank, so you either end up here or here. Send that butt back, and bring yourself back to that down dog where we were again. Check in with yourself, all the alignment cues I mentioned before. But don't judge if you're not quite at a place where all of those things are possible. It's about growing and feeling it good in your body and gaining strength and flexibility each time you come onto the mat. So we are going to take one leg up. I'm taking my left leg. And we're going to bring ourselves forward with our knee towards our nose. And then we're going to send it back up. And let's do that one more time. Knee to nose, getting a little bit of core work. Send it back up. And this time, we're going to keep it here and park that leg down into a low lunge. Thinking about the crease where your bent leg hits your, like the leg hits the torso. Thinking about pulling that back so that you're keeping your hips in line and keeping that knee over the ankle to protect that joint. Let's take a few breaths here in our lunge. Let's drop the back knee, untuck the toes, sit up nice and tall, and push through to stretch out your hip flexors. So I'm just pushing forward from my hips. Let's stay here for a couple breaths. Take those hands back down. Tuck the toe, bring that leg back up into our lunge. Send that foot backward. Find yourself strong in your plank. Lower yourself either with knees down or with knees up through to chaturanga, to up dog, and then tuck the heels and send yourself back to a downward facing dog again. Breathe in, give yourself a nice exhale. At any time, if you're tired, you can always feel free to go into a child's pose. That is always available to you. We're going to take our other leg. For me, that's my right leg. I'm going to lift it, and then I'm going to pull it towards my nose and lift it back up. Inhale, exhale as you bring it forward. Inhale back up. One more time. Take a nice inhale. Send it forward. And this time we're going to keep it and bring it into a low lunge. Again, thinking about the crease, pulling that back to keep those hips aligned. Knee in line with that ankle. And take a few breaths as you feel the stretch in this lunge. Drop the back knee gently. Untuck the toes. Sit up nice and tall and stretch forward to give yourself a nice hip flexor stretch. Send those hands back down. Up to you if you want to go right back to a downward dog or if you'd like to take it through a chaturanga and up dog. You can decide what feels good on your body. But lift that back leg and you're going to take your foot back and you're either going to come straight to a down dog and rest here until we all get there, or you can optionally, again, knees or no knees, lower down, lift up, and then now we're all going to meet in our downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale here, breathe it out. Another inhale, and breathe it out. This time, I'm going to lift the right leg first so that I can face you the first time we do a warrior pose. If you'd like to open up the hip, you can bend the leg and let those hips sort of stack so that you're opening up that hip. Then you can bring it back front. Give it one more try. Take it back to the front. We're going to pull that knee in and take it to a high lunge. Shoulders down away from the ears. Take a nice deep breath as you feel your body engage. And we're just going to drop that back heel and transition into a warrior two. So one of my feet is facing front, the straight leg, the other one is facing to the side, and I have my arms out nice and long, looking towards the bent side. We all have different bodies. The goal is to have the hips facing front. You may not always get there. I find that sometimes I have to really think about it. So just be comfortable wherever you're at now. Take an inhale, bring the arm up, and come into reverse warrior. Sliding down that other leg, keeping those shoulders stacked. Coming back again to warrior two. Turn that foot in the back. Bring those arms up for a high lunge. You can give yourself a little bit of an arch back as long as you're using your core to keep yourself stable. Gently lower those arms back down to the ground. Send the foot back. Find yourself in your plank. And if you'd like to take a rest, you can take a good child's pose and then meet me in down dog. Or if you'd like to take it to a flow, and then meet in down dog again. Keep on. Take a few breaths here in down dog. I hear a beeping. I just want to turn the thing off that's beeping so it doesn't bother everyone. I'll take a couple more breaths in down dog. This time we're going to take our left leg up and above. As an option, you can open up the hip on the other side. So now my hips are stacked instead of being in line laterally. Take it back down. Give it one more time if you like. You might find that you end up bumping into things in your apartment like me. That's okay, it's all part of the journey. Yoga in small spaces. and take it back up. Send the knee forward, keep it there, and bring yourself up into a high lunge. Take a few breaths here. Gently drop the back heel. Open those arms up into a warrior two on the other side. Hips aligned. One leg is facing front, the other one's facing to the side. And my arms are up. Take some breaths here. Feel your strength, feel your stability. Take the arm on the bent side, lift it to the sky. Slide the other hand down your thigh for a reverse warrior. Keeping the shoulders stacked, looking up at that hand and just breathing nice, deep, big breaths. Gently straighten on up. Come back to your high lunge. Lower down. And send the feet back. Gently drop those knees. Come into a child's pose. We're going to drop our hips to one side, so I'm just moving them a bit towards one side. Not a big movement. Bring them center. Drop those hips towards the other side. Bring them center. And now we're going to take a nice twist in our back. So we're going to gently walk our hands by our fingertips over towards one side. So you're going to feel a stretch on the side that's away from where you're pointing. And just breathe through that beautiful stretch. Gently walk your hands back to the center. And now walk them in the other direction, to the other side. And then you'll feel the stretch again on the opposing direction from where the hand's on. And walk them back center. Come to seated. We're going to engage our abs briefly before we get down on our backs. And do a little bit of a boat pose. So you can take one leg up or both legs up. Totally up to you. Shoulders down, arms out, and feel that core really engage. Let's stay here for 4 breaths. Gently drop those legs down to the ground and slowly make your way down to the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae, until you find yourself flat on the mat. Take your arms out to a T. Lift those legs to a tabletop. Send them to one side. Lift them up. Send them over to the other side. lift them back up, or bring them down and find yourself in Shavasana, corpse pose. Close your eyes. Let your body be heavy. Just sink into the mat. Now the mat is supporting you. Check in with your breath. Check in with your body. See how you're feeling. Imagine a relaxation going from your head down your neck to your shoulders and your arms to your fingertips, to your torso, to your hips, to your legs, all the way down to the feet. Imagine that any tension has just been drained out of all those different parts of our body. In all the chaos, when you really center in on yourself, you can find your own little calm, your own little spirit. Try and get in touch with that sense of your own self. And when you feel ready, gently roll over to one side. Push yourself up with the top arm to a seated position. Keep the arms up and bring them down forward. Your heart. Namaste. Thank you all so much.